Hello and welcome. My name is Marc Blatstein, the founder of Physician Pre-Sentence Report Service. This is the sixth in my series of things to plan for before your day of self-surrender. And so today I'm going to discuss financial issues, talking a little bit about fraud crimes and its impact on your family and you, as well as the financial responsibility program. So let's try and get to it here. We're going to start with your banks you deal with and brokerage houses. If you happen to have a crime that was involving either some sort of bank fraud, anything that had to deal with a financial crime, it is possible that banks have been known to close accounts, giving only 30 days notice, more or less. And so if that happens, and you're already in the BOP or in federal prison, you don't want this to be a problem where your significant other, your wife, your kids, someone is calling you on the phone and saying, what do you do? Because you are not allowed to essentially give the appearance of conducting a business. In other words, giving this type of advice. Because if you do, even though you're not conducting business, but if you're discussing how to move money from one account to another or open another bank account, the perception of those correction staff that are listening to you on the phone is all that counts. You know, perception is what's perceived is what's believed, even if it's not actually what is actually happening. And so create yourself a cushion with multiple institutions, multiple banks ahead of time, and then create power of attorney so that someone could essentially just move the money seamlessly without having to create a problem for you and for themselves, actually. And in the long run, that will be most appreciated, especially if it's investment houses or investment institutions, so you don't incur financial penalty. Now, regarding penalties, if your crime had a financial penalty, well, let's talk about commissary. So people can spend from several hundred to several $1,000s a month. I spent about 300 and a quarter, on holidays, November, December. You can spend, I don't know, more. Uh, you can spend, I don't know, 375 a month, and that, then but you can actually spend much, much higher. There are people that can spend thousands a month. But if you have a financial penalty with the government or any other entity, they're making it now with Congress almost a requirement through what's called a financial responsibility plan or program that the BOP wants to collect from you a minimum amount of money per month or per quarter. And if you refuse to do so, that may limit your ability to benefit from the First Step Back programming, which would in turn limit your ability to work towards early release. And that can be a problem if it's something that you want to do. So at your first meeting with your case manager, you may want to offer to set up a your FRP, or financial responsibility plan with the government. And so if you have a high number that you owe as far as a criminal penalty, no matter who it's to, and you think you're going to be taking in 800 a month, 1,000 a month, whatever that high number may be, you may want to say that you're going to offer to pay a couple $100s a week or a couple $100s a month, depending on the amount of money you feel that you may be bringing in. the same time, if you owe 100,000, 200,000, and you're only bringing in a couple $100 a month, they may let you, it may be okay just to pay $25 or $35 a quarter or a month. So you kind of have to feel your way through this, because the Department of Justice has already published that they want to be able to take 75% of what's in your commissary account. Now, the Bureau of Prisons does not want this to happen because they depend on the profit from their commissary account to pay for bills that the BOP uses, that they have to run on. And so it's something to keep in mind in the as you go forward, that you may want to proactively keep your case manager happy, and at the same time to protect your money that's in your commissary account. Additionally, I do not recommend keeping a large sum of money in your account. I've read stories where people will have $10,000 in your commissary account. Don't do this. You don't want to front end load your commissary account. Not a very smart thing, if you'll be unhappy if you turn around one day and it's gone. Just my opinion. And this ends the 6-part series of things to plan for before you surrender. I appreciate you taking the time to listen. They're available on YouTube podcasts as well as on the website. Marc Blatstein with my podcast. And thank you for listening. Have a good day.